What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we have some interesting things to discuss. We are going to be looking at the usual XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500, but we definitely made some progress in where we pretty much predicted over the past couple of days. I just want to pull up my previous videos from earlier this week. You guys can see here as this loads in, because it always loads slow when I'm recording. But you guys can see here, we've had a few interesting patterns that we've been watching here, specifically within 4-hour symmetrical triangles. We eventually broke bullish outside the Bitcoin 4-hour charts here, but we've now managed to reverse back downwards, which is interesting. It is interesting. However, we were able to profit off that run to the upside here because typically 4-hour candles do not last long. We're not trading 4 hours over, the course of multiple days. It's usually within the day that we get in and we get out, but it usually lasts the entirety of the day. Now, specifically what we're looking at is the fact that cryptos are starting to dip lower, and by no surprise is this happening here, and hopefully it's not a surprise to you guys, and I want to explain why that is. First things first, looking at XRP, you can see we're starting to dip below our beautiful support level here. So you can see moving forward, we've had this major dump inside an ascending fractal. These typically have a bearish bias. You can see we're also getting entangled with a major downtrend here, as well as moving average, as well as the fact that this just has a bearish bias. There's a lot of reasons which would cause a rejection and a reversal back to the downside. There's a support here, however, that we do need to account for, and it does hold, and you can see where we've bounced off it in the past. But I think shortly we are going to get rejected off here and dump lower, and I will talk about how low and so on and so forth with that. But the main reasons I'm expecting to see these markets dip lower, and you can see they're already starting to do that. You can see Ethereum is breaking bearish down below its support here, so obviously we've been stopped out of Ethereum here, but we did profit off of the Bitcoin trade, but Bitcoin is starting to divulge lower as well. You can see it's creating a lower high, lower low pattern here, and it's probably going to scale us down, and I expect it to scale us down, and the main reason I believe that is looking at the S&P 500. This is the big one here that I really wanted to talk about. As you guys can clearly tell, this is something we've been tracking for quite a while now, and for the same reasons why I believe that all these reasons here why XRP should be going bearish and breaking lower applies to the S&P as well. We had a beautiful downtrend, a dump. We had a rejection here and fell. We then formed an ascending fractal as we started to scale our way back up, and this has a bearish bias to cause correction here. And you can see yesterday closed us bearish here, but we've been on a spiral downwards for the past 4 days that the markets have been open, and we have been falling lower. Ideally, we've corrected now a total of 4.5%, and I have a feeling it's going to swing us lower here. The only worry that I have is this bullish cross. We do have this bullish cross over here, but I do think still it is going to scale us lower, and I'll explain to you guys why that is in a second. With that being said, guys, definitely make sure though to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So first and foremost, looking at the top 10 cryptos, you can see markets are floating at 840 billion, currently down 1.62% right here. As I move forward, you can start to see the markets are scaling downwards. 24-hour price here for Bitcoin is down 1%, 2.4%, 1.5%, 1.3, 4.5, 1.6, 2.8. Everything is sliding lower, and you can see it's as if we just fell off a cliff. We had a lot of this consolidation over the past couple of days here, and now we just nosedive down to the downside here. Ethereum, nosedive BNB, straight drop XRP, Doge, Cardano, everything is dying downwards here. So it appears to me that when we see the S&P kind of stagnate sideways, maybe float up, we start to see cryptocurrency kind of do its own thing, which is what we were seeing. But this little run that we had here, a very, very, very large candle to the upside here, which you can see took place on the 30th here of November. You can kind of see it happened right around the same time we had movements, I believe, right here. This is November 30th. This is the 29th to the 30th here, and this is a 4-hour. So we did have a pretty solid run. You can see here the 30th on Ethereum was right around here as well. So you can see this was also a pretty solid run that we had, a very big, large green candle that took place here. The 30th for XRP did its own thing. We didn't see much, but we did have a pretty solid little run to the upside here. But typically, what we see these big movements on the S&P, it also, directly impacts cryptocurrency. But when we're trading sideways, we tend to see other things. But we do have some updates that we need to talk about here, and I know let's talk about XRP first, then we'll look at the S&P because I know a lot of you guys, that's what you're here for. First things first, you can see on the XRP charts here, we've been kind of falling stagnant. We're trading pretty much at 50 on the RSI, and we've been trading like that for quite some time. You can see for the most part, we've pretty much just been kind of hanging out here for quite some time also on the 4-hour, but jumping to the daily, you can see it's been quite a while. It's the 24th now. We're trading at the 7th here, so it's been quite a few days of just sideways movement. And I'll give you an accurate reading here. Let's say it started here, and we've been trading currently for about 2 weeks now. We've been trading sideways for flatlined out on the 50 and the RSI. Typically, when we see sideways moving, it usually means there's lots of uncertainty building in the markets, and that typically causes big movements to come, either volume, very rapidly leaving the market or very rapidly being entered into the market. The unfortunate part is I don't think we're like out of the clear just yet, and I do believe very strongly we are going to see correction to the downside, which does open some big possibilities for short positions here that you guys should be starting to get ready for and preparing for. You can see on the weekly charts here consistently, XRP explodes up, it hits this top resistance, and we fall. Second time, hits up, hits top resistance, and we fall again. Third time, hits top resistance, and we fall again. So now we have a clear confirmation of where a resistance line is. Fourth time we hit it, we fall again. Moving forward, I'm running out of mouse space. Let's draw it again. We move up, we hit the top resistance, and we fall. So here we are for the 5th time. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, the 6th time hitting that resistance, trying to see whether or not we're going to be breaking through it or below it here. And you can see we typically get rejected off of here. So the likelihood that the 6th time we retest it most likely is going to cause for a correction as well. Then throw in the fact that we have a bearish bias because we have an ascending fractal off a drop here. Typically has a bearish outcome here. We also have the moving average acting as a resistance, the downtrend acting as a resistance, and lots of negative movements here. When you start to allocate the rest of the market, it does scream bearish reversal here. The likelihood is that we are probably going to dip down, and I do strongly believe a 30-cent ticker to retest again on XRP is likely. I don't think we're out of the woodworks just yet. Until we can confirm closing a weekly at like 43 cents, if we can close a weekly candle, and this is truly what we need, it's that simple when you want to buy in. It's literally this simple. This is what I'm going to do. We close a weekly here, 42 cents. We close the weekly at 45 cents. I don't care. As long as we close a weekly outside this major downtrend that we've been in for over a year and a half, that would be enough for me to buy in long with an expectation of seeing an 80-cent pull. But because we haven't, and because we're most likely going to get rejected off this as well, we have to err on the side that there is going to be a potential correction back down to 30 cents. When that does happen, we'll be able to leverage this on BitYard, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. Buy long, sell short, leverage trades, stop losses, take profits, everything. You can do it right here. Right here, leverage, your long, short positions. You have margins, you have take profits ratios, you have stop loss ratios. You have even a demo account, which allows you to trade around with Monopoly money, 100K in free free Monopoly money to test your skills, risk-free, just to test the website, which is free to sign up. So, you'd be a fool not to take advantage of that. Also, they even have XRP, which not many exchanges offer. Really, not many exchanges offer. BitYard does offer XRP, which is super cool. The best part is if you sign up now with the link down in the description below, click mystery box, and you could get free crypto. That simple. So make sure to check it out, link down in the description below. But moving forward, the other reasons why I believe we're starting to see more of a bearish correction here. I used to be about 80%, then I dropped down to 70. I'm sticking at 70, but I think very soon I'm going to switch it back up to 80 because I don't think we have any bullish movement yet. I don't think we're bearish. I don't think we're in a bearish run like we had. We had so much volume and emotion for XRP and these cryptos when we started to dump here. There was so much emotion and people involved and invested into crypto. Now, truly, I just don't think we have the attention and the volume anymore that would allow for a pump to the upside. That's my opinion here. This correction to the downside was people leaving after we exploded. We had all this volume here of people getting in so quickly into the markets here. And this is, I'm trying to draw this out and kind of give you guys a reference to what I mean. We had tons of people very rapidly pile into the markets here. And then people were very, FUD, I guess, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They refused to, withdraw. Slowly but surely they did. That's what put us back down to here. We don't have the volume yet and the amount of people to explode us to the upside. So I think it's a waiting game at this point. I do think it's going to come, but I think short term right now, that's not going to happen. The other reasons why I'm bearish is when you look at things like Ethereum here, you can see on its 4-hour, we had a beautiful ascending fractal forming right here. We kind of broke bearish from that, starting to scale lower here, and then jumping to Bitcoin, you can see we're now reversing the pattern here. We had a beautiful, pennant flag forming, which did have a bullish breakout, to its, lead here. It was the same size as the run. Now we're starting to reverse downwards. So now I believe we're starting to form a top. I only have two, confirmations here that this is a downtrend, but I am leaving it like this, and I'm going to draw a bottom support here. I don't know how accurate it is to start, but I am going to leave it for right now. We need another confirmation on top and another confirmation on bottom to confirm that this is a descending fractal, but I am going to leave it for right now. But the real reason I believe we're going to fall lower is because the way the S&P 500 is looking. The S&P specifically is hitting its major resistance again. We broke bearish from that. We hit this white band and we're correcting lower here. And the reason I believe we're heading up is because also we have, there's just everything screams, rejection here and bearish momentum. We have a beautiful uptrend in white that was acting as a resistance. We hit that. Now we're starting to fall. The beautiful downtrend into an ascending fractal has a bearish bias. Then we were breaking through a major moving average and the purple downtrend, which are two more reasons for bearish correction. Then we have this beautiful uptrend, which we've now just confirmed closing below, and that typically also reverses in a rally. If we just look just a little bit earlier, you can see a similar pattern happened here. We had a downtrend form into an ascending fractal. You can see it clear as day here, and you can see what did we do after that? We broke bearish. And to continue that, you can see here we had a beautiful uptrend on the RSI. As we neared overbought, that's when we started to break bearish. You can see the same thing happened here. We had an uptrend. You can see when we broke it, and then we should expect to see a correction. When did we start to break this? Well, that was when we started to retest the top of this purple band. You can see we've done exactly that. We kind of peak above it, we crown above it, and then we dip. We crowned above it, and here we are dipping. And one would say, oh, well, we have the moving average acting as a support, which we should use to, help us bounce off. Is it possible? Of course, but just slightly earlier, the same example right here, you can see we had a bullish cross on the S&P on the daily chart here, a bullish cross, and we still broke right through it. And then right as quickly as we had the bullish cross, we had a bearish one just as that. So we have not really widened this gap yet, so there's a good chance it's going to cross right over and continue to scale lower. But that's pretty much it for the today's video. I do strongly believe this is going to continue to drop lower today. I think that would make sense here. You can see in the past, this causes a correction, and that's what I'm looking for to happen and play out right now. So I do believe a dip is to come, and I do believe it's going to cause this. More so the slower drop where we have runs like this beautifully, but I do think it's going to scale us down lower, and I think it's going to happen today. I think maybe we'll bounce. Maybe we'll see a few days of bouncing like we saw here. We come up like this, and then we'll head lower, or we're just going to continue this momentum to the downside. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.